Alright, so it's a beautiful sunny day here in Denmark, and I thought let's go skating. Let's completely overheat in this weather. I had a person reaching out to me and asking if I could make a small tutorial for going downhill, like what is my strategy for that. Obviously one way of doing it is to completely just go flat out and hope for the best, but I thought, why not? Let's try to maybe put this into some sort of guide. So I'm gonna take you to a flat spot first to show you some techniques, and then we're gonna find some downhill spots, which is gonna take a bit of skating because I'm in the flattest part of town. But yeah, stick around and we'll get to it. Okay, I think we arrived. I think this is gonna be the spot because it's very calm, it's flat, and we can do some basics. Maybe there's too much noise, but let's see. So let's pretend this beautiful road is a downhill curb, middle, and curb. A few basics that you wanna consider when doing downhill and hills in general is to try and break up the hill. If you just go flat out, it can be really fun, but it can be pretty dangerous. That being said, sometimes you gotta do it to see what happens, but we'll do that later, maybe. Let's see what we're in the mood for. But if this is your beautiful hill, this is what you want to do. You want to go across? Nice, let me see. Let's break up the speed. We'll do that again. So the first thing you want to pay attention to when doing this is obviously your balance. And the reason why I mention this is when you start to go sideways down a hill, you'll still generate speed if you're not actively taking off the speed in your turns. And during the turns you can quickly lose your balance and fall over. And that's equally dangerous to just going flat out, to be honest. And what I mean by that is like if you go like this, and do the turn too aggressive, I'm gonna end up on my heels like this. And you often see that with beginners, like you simply lose your balance. So if you do the turns too aggressive, you can easily overdo them and lose your balance. So a good way to start is by doing the same as skiers do and zigzag across. And what I do is that I form a V shape. How do I do this? A V shape with my legs. I do this V shape with my legs, and by doing that I de-accelerate my speed, and I'm able to use my outside leg as a guide to take the speed off. And I'm just gonna show you how to do that again. And if you are new to this, I think this is my best recommendation, because it's actually quite easy. You can start from nothing. You can go really wide and just simply apply pressure to your outside leg, and you don't even have to turn. You can actually completely de-accelerate just by doing the pizza movement like this. So yeah, it's that simple. Of course, if you're up against a big hill, a very steep hill, you want to add the turns, and we'll try to break that down, and I'll show you how to do that now. Right, so how do I apply pressure on my outside leg during the pizza movement? And I'm just gonna break it down like this. You're gonna go really wide, and then when you initiate the turn, you put pressure on the outside leg like this, and you force the leg out, and the inside leg relaxes a bit, but it's ready to take over. And then you can reapply pressure from right to left, from left to right, and do the turns while still doing the pizza movement. And it kind of looks like this. So let's say you're in doubt on how much pressure to apply during a downhill. I always start out just doing the pizza flat, see does that stop me, and then slowly start to apply the turn. Don't go too aggressive, because if you go too aggressive you end up on your heel and you lose your balance. So yeah, take it easy, but I think it's gonna come quite natural to you, so you can feel how much pressure to apply. I'm just gonna do it one last time. I think with everything skating related, there is a good tip that I got from a a friend long time ago, and it's quite simple. You can never get too low. If you can get too low, shows a video, I'm not gonna believe you, but you can never go too low, and that applies to almost everything. If you're doing grinds, if you're doing downhill, if you're skating straight forward, just try to bend your knees, get low, get that low center of gravity, because it's gonna help you a lot. And if you fall, the lower you are to the ground, the more you manage just to sit down, the less likely you are to break a bone or get hurt. And that naturally applies to going downhill as well. So for the last time, I'm just gonna do the pizza, bend my knees a lot, so you can see that I'm a bit more stable compared to if we just stand upright. Almost couldn't do it, but yeah, get low. It's gonna help you a lot with these things. There was a few pizza movements on flat ground, and once I'm done here, I'm gonna take you to some downhills, and we're gonna try and apply that in real life. See how that goes. For some reason, if you don't want to do the pizza or you don't like pizzas, there are some more traditional ways you can go about downhills, and even though I'll always say go sideways, you can always do the traditional T-stop with your foot, and I don't know, it'll ruin your wheels, but it's a good last resort to just break off speed, and it basically looks like this. So depending on your strong leg, you can always just drag your foot, and it can be a way to get yourself stopped. Pair that with some sideways movements. And just simply break off. And if you're panicking, look for grass. But this is the way you can do it. I'll definitely recommend you to go find some place flat like this, apply some speed, and try to do these movements. Because if you're just gonna tackle a steep hill without practicing this, I think you're gonna struggle a bit. And by that I mean getting yourself out of balance, because when you do the sideways movements and you do the pizza and you start to apply pressure, you're gonna generate some force in your legs, and it can put you off balance. You'll feel that when you start to apply pressure in your turns, corners. So doing it flat ground is recommendable. Got a few more ways you can stop, so I'm gonna take you through that. You might have seen on the cool guys YouTube videos, they do cool slides, and if you already know how to do the pizza slides, you can actually start to apply this a little bit and take off even more speed, sometimes even without doing the turns. And I'm gonna show you how this looks, and hopefully I can explain to you how it works after. So that was an application on how to power slide your pizzas. And if you're in a really steep hill, it can be a good way, especially if it's narrow, to apply pressure and take off speed. And as you could probably hear on my skates, it's pretty tough on the wheels, but it's also gonna take off speed. I'm just gonna do it one more time for you to see. So the way this works is you go to your almost widest position, and if I'm gonna slide with my right leg, I'm gonna keep my left leg pointing forward, and my right leg is gonna be my slow down leg. And if you apply percentage on how much balance you got on your feet, this is 70 to 80% and 30 to 20%. So be a lot more loose on your sliding leg and use this leg as your pillar. So I basically got all my balance on this leg. And with my right leg, I'm just gonna drift out my foot and really apply pressure to that leg. And then I'm starting to slide out gently. Don't worry, it isn't the easiest thing you can do. So if you're struggling, don't worry about it. But it can be a good way to take off speed in narrow situations. Okay, I think those were the basics. Still in a very flat area, so I'm gonna take you for a small ride and let's see if we can find some hills. So yeah, stick around. I did a mini pizza. Okay, a bit of early evening commute here in the land of bikes. Found my first hill, and it's a good one. It's a good hill, but hills always comes with the downside of you having it going up at them, right? So I gotta put in some brief leg work, and then try on some of the examples from previously. Welcome back. All right, so made it to this extremely posh neighborhood. For all the viewers out there, don't worry, I don't live here. If I did, I don't know, but I surely don't. But this is a good spot because I got a good hill here, good one here. This one ends at a stop, and this one ends in a dead-end traffic light. So you definitely want to stop on this one. This one you can get lucky, but this one you have to be really lucky if you just go flat out. So yeah, it's a good excuse to try and apply some of our downhill knowledge to not get hurt and keep skating. I think we're gonna start with this one. So yeah, a bit more leg work. Let's get up. Okay, we made it to the hill. I think I gotta watch out for runners today, because I think there's a running event happening today. I don't know, I think there is. So that can be our obstacles, I guess. This hill is quite good. It isn't too steep, and with the cars you actually get the same width as we did at our flat ground training. So like if you're completely new and just want to go down, simply do the turns nice and easy, and once in a while, if you feel there's too much speed, break off, go to an end, maybe jump on the grass. You can roll the grass if you're adventurous. I wouldn't do that. You never know which dog had its good time there, but big turns, break the hill off, break it off once in a while, reset and go again. And yeah, it can look like this. Yeah, just like that. Okay, let's do that one more time. Nice and easy, big turns. If you do it like this, you don't even have to do the pizzas. So I'm gonna go back up again and do it once more. Try not to do the stops and to plan my speed as best as possible. Try to avoid runners. Traffic. So let him pass, see what happens. Then, oh, traffic again. Slowly break your turns. Traffic coming from behind. I'm picking up more speed, so I need to break off very soon. Let's do it again. Yeah, so got a bit of action there. So obviously you want to let the traffic go. If I was really panicking, I would maybe have jumped to the side, but let the traffic flow and restart your turns when the cars are gone, and you should be all right. And the situation had a lot of space to break it off in the end. So yeah, let's try one more time with a pizza application. Okay, so second thoughts. Since we got interrupted, we'll just do the same thing again and try not to find cars this time. So big turns, slowly brake off the speed, and try to make a stop in the end. So here we go. Okay. So we're back on top of the hill, and apologies for being Mr. Sweaty, but it's hot out here, and yeah, no winds. But now we did the good downhill, and let's try to apply some pizza pressure on this one to take off more speed. One thing I forgot to mention is that when you go down hills, I'm just gonna point, it's always a good idea to try to look for exits. I mean, things can happen fast, right? But good exit here, good exit on the grass. If I go too fast, maybe I can brake off to the right, stick on the same side as the traffic. Maybe I get a second chance. I know you're probably thinking a lot about skating, but try to look for exits. Try to look at your surroundings. Where would traffic come from? Where could I go if something happens? Like a car pulls out or someone comes from behind. I cannot do my big turns. I mean, emergency, do your big turns. Ignore the car. I'm pretty sure they're gonna stop for you, but yeah, look for exits. I always do that, especially when I go flat out downhill. It's my way out, so if something happens, just brake off as good as you can. I'm gonna do a bit more. I'm gonna get a bit more speed this time, and then I'm gonna apply the pizza's pressures, and pay attention to my outer legs, because they're really taking a lot of pressure when doing this, and like my main stoppers. Yeah, let's give it a go. Easy, easy, easy. Stay low, do your pizzas, and you're gonna be fine on downhill. So I think next in line is just for me to do like this downhill down to the intersection, and maybe I'll just freestyle it and talk about what happened. Yeah. Just to do something else. Alright, so now I approach my hill for the second time, but let's imagine I never tried this one before. I see a potential exit to the right. I know it's a dead end for me right now to the bottom, so if I feel too scared I can always break off to the right. I know it's a very narrow lane. There's traffic, so I want to be careful, right? So I'm just gonna try to stick to this bike lane, do my turns, do my pizza slides, see if I can break off the speed. If it's too much, I can break off. Otherwise, let's see what happens in the bottom. Friendly car. So we'll let it go. Okay, so we made it all the way down. Even hit a green light, but we made it to a stop. So yeah, constantly looking for exits, looking for traffic, just being super calm about my turns, apply pressure in those lovely pizza movements, and then I make it to the end. I don't know what else to say about that, but maybe let's find some more downhill action. Oh, okay. So we're gonna do this one, and as you can see, there's a lot of cars parked, assuming these are the runners. So we're gonna have a pretty quick descent in the bottom, and there's traffic. So I think we have to try and apply everything we learned so far. Brake, speed off, look for exits, don't go too fast. But let's see how that ends. I think if it goes well, we're just gonna race all the way down to the intersection from before, as it ends somewhere I can buy water, which I desperately need. Yeah. It's hot. It's really hot. But we are getting there slowly. Okay, so for this one, I know the roads, but if I didn't know the roads, again, look for exits, break off your speed. I think now I made it this far, there's a slim chance I'm gonna go up again, because it took me 20 minutes. But so yeah, if it goes well, I'm just gonna bump it all the way down. Yeah, let's see what happens. All right, so luckily for me, no major traffic or any obstructions, but always looked, is there an exit, is there anything I can do, and went pretty smooth. So I hope the video is going to help you get more confident with downhill, or even getting started with downhill or hills in general. Start flat ground, start easy. I think a lot of what you saw today, it does require quite a lot of training, but baby steps, and you'll get there pretty soon. So best of luck, and yeah, let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see, and I shall try